So, Mike reporting for ESCKAZ.com. This is the English side of the team today. We're doing our review. The Russians did it yesterday. So today we have Sergey with us from Ukraine. We have Andrew Webster with us from Slovenia. We have Desiree van der Hert from the Netherlands. And we have Chris Beer from Germany. Say hi, people.
Hey!
Chris didn't bring his stylist today, so unfortunately you're going to have to look at him like he is, but he's quite happy. He just came off the plane. Okay, we're going to start. So song number 1 is Albania, which is, just to remind you all people, Mr. Bush Pepper. Mr. Bush Pepper, yeah. So Chris, I'm going to come to you first. Thoughts on the song?
My thoughts on the song are that I know that the Albanian song has quite a few fans. Like, one of them is sitting right next to me, so I think she's the better person to talk about it. In terms of qualification, I still have my doubts. Albania is not very good at staging, but he's a good vocalist. The song has some fans, so let's keep our fingers crossed for making the final, but I'm not that hopeful for it at the moment.
Okay, for me, I think it's sailing through to the final. His performance on the promo tour blew me away. He's an amazing vocalist. The song is really rather nice. I really like it, and I just think, yeah, it's absolutely the missed one so far this year. Sergey?
Yeah, that song is nothing special, but I think it will do good, and nothing to say less.
Okay, kind. Sergey doesn't like it, obviously. So we'll come on to Andrew Webster. New for ESCKAZ this year. You're working for Slovenia and you're joining us as a guest tonight. Your thoughts on Albania?
I think you pretty much shared my sentiments. I think really strong vocals, lots of energy in his performance. Also, yeah, a rousing song. It reminds me of almost Scottish folk music or something. I think it's got a good chance of qualification. I think it will sell through too. So.
Saving the best for last, because I know it's your favourite song, Desiree, but I am going to cut you at 30 seconds, so be quick.
Oh, well, just from the first moment this song got to me, and I thought it was a pity it had to be cut for 1.5 minutes, which was 1/3, but oh, now you're stopping it.
Oh, it's because I hit my phone wrong, sorry, go on and carry
on. Well, so, I don't know, it got to me.
Qualification, Desiree?
I think it does have a chance, mainly because of the incredible strong vocals. I mean, every performance is just flawless. So yeah. Okay. It has to be.
And then if it,
the betting markets don't have it as a qualifier at the moment.
Okay, but betting markets have been wrong before, Chris, as you well know.
They have been wrong before, but in this case they are really skeptical about it. So it would be a huge surprise if Albania makes the final.
Okay, well that's. Don't listen to everything you hear on the betting side. Okay, moving swiftly on. I know Desiree's going to kill me now because I'm going to cut her song, but we come on to Albania. No, Armenia. Sorry, we did Albania, right? So, Sergey, I'll come to you first. Okay. Armenia.
So, as for a person, he's a good guy. I know him from The Voice of Armenia, also from the X Factor of Ukraine. He won it. So, as a person, I like him. As to the song is, I find this song so annoying and so typical for Armenians, so I don't like the song, but he will do well and he will qualify.
Cool. Desiree?
I also like this song quite a lot, actually, even though you cut the previous one, but I don't mind if this is the next one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's a great singer, even though maybe sometimes live it sounds almost a bit nasal, but I hope that the live performances will improve and that it will be another qualification for Armenia, because I think they really deserve it this year.
Okay. For me, again, this is another missed one that only came to life on the promo tour. The song kind of passed me by a lot before we saw him performing it live. Watched the first one in Amsterdam, I was pretty impressed. Then when I saw him live myself in Madrid, I met the guy, I was even more impressed. So I think definite qualification for Armenia this year. Whether they will do anything in the final is a different story. Andrew, for you?
Yeah, I think, again, the performance he's done on the tours, they've kind of gradually improved. And it's almost like the song gradually improves with each listen as well. The dance remix, but I think the original keep it that way, and they probably track through.
Can you do a dance to the dance remix for me?
No. You know what? Like, his stylist left at home my dance moves. I think they're somewhere on the other side of the city.
Go and get them.
You don't want to see them. Not for this one. Maybe for some others. No.
Sensible head back now, Chris. Qualification market for Armenia?
Qualification market is okay because there's some Armenian diaspora in perhaps Belgium, a few other countries voting in the same semifinal. Armenia, strong vocalist. not a lot of connection with the audience. It's gonna be closer than the betting markets think, in my opinion.
So moving swiftly on, we come to what I term the throwaway pop songs. The first one of which will be Australia. I have to say, I'm not really a fan. People that know my personal taste in music would know that this really isn't my cup of tea at all. She does it very well. She performs it very well. She can sing now. We had doubts about that after that. We'll forget about that performance in 2014 at the semi-final. I think it probably will finish the highest out of all the throwaway fluffy pop songs, but I could be wrong.
So we already heard 3 songs at the Eurovision from Australia, and I think that they make some kind of a pattern. So this song fits in this pattern, and I don't like it because it's the same every year, and I want something different.
Numbers, right?
Yeah. I want something different from Australia. I mean, so I want something unique and something Australian for sure, not so pop Australia.
Okay. Andrew Webster over there was pulling a face when I said Eurovision by numbers. Okay, so we're coming to you now, Andrew. Shoot me down.
You know, I understand your comment, because I would say it is kind of Eurovision by numbers, but I'd say all the other entries have been. And for me, this is the only song this year when I first heard it, I thought, wow. Okay. And I was actually, I don't know, something was awoken in me. And I think, as we talked, as you just said before, her vocals have been questionable in the past, but I think on the promo tour, she's just got better and better. And if she nails it in the way that maybe, Adami did a few years ago, we could see top 3, maybe even better.
See, now I completely disagree. She's no Dami Im by a long way, and if Dami Im could only finish second, I really have serious doubts about Jessica Marboy getting past the 5 to 10 placing in the grand final. I didn't actually say that she wouldn't do well. I think she will do the best of the fluffy pop songs. It was a difference.
No, definitely. There's a few fluffy pop songs this year, as you said. But I don't know, there's just something about her. I think if she performs on the night, they're going to get a jury vote for sure. It's whether they can get some telly votes. And I think that's the key for Australia pretty much every year. Cool. And if she can translate that into some telly votes, then it'll do better than maybe you expect.
Chris?
The betting markets have Australia as one of the contenders for the win this year. I'm not sure I'm agreeing with it. For me, it's generic, a bit bland, a bit too safe. Yeah. I think the recent Australian entries have been a bit more polished and a bit more modern, radio friendly, while this one is really just an OGA poll favorite. Yeah. I have my doubts about it, but she's pretty good, and therefore I don't think Australia will struggle with the scoring, but I don't see them winning at this point.
Desiree?
Well, this is for me one of the more difficult songs to judge, because at first I didn't really have anything with it. I mean, I didn't dislike it, but that was about it. But I was really impressed with her performance at Eurovision in concert. And for now, I think this is going to be the winner.
Okay, winner from Desiree there. Very controversial, Desiree. Moving on. You two can go to the bars later. Yeah. Dance around to fluffy pop nonsense. Okay, moving on to Austria now. It's Southampton with Nobody But You. I think I'll come to you, Chris, first, because, fellow German speakers.
Well, Cesar Sampson, he's not new to the Eurovision stage, right? He was a backing singer for Bulgaria. I think he's a strong vocalist, but every time you have a backing singer being in the spotlight, being the main act, I have some worries that he's not really the one for the spotlight, but rather a backing singer. But the song has strong credentials, and I'm seeing it scoring well, mainly on the jury side. So that's where it would get its points from.
That's the kind of song not interesting for me. Yeah. Another one, and I'm not even following his part of at the Eurovision, so I don't have any much to say about it.
Okay, Andrew.
When I first heard this song, the first line, I had to do a double take about what he was going to get tonight, because it sounded odd. But the song, I don't know, the verses, I find them a bit dull, as it just doesn't do anything for me, but I think it builds quite nice as it goes. But it's not one I'll be looking out for. I would say, will it qualify? Possibly. I'm not sure. I'm on the fence.
Okay, so I think we're all pretty negative, apart from Desiree, we haven't come to you yet. But at the moment, I'm fairly negative about this as well. For me, it kind of just gets lost in the mix. There's nothing really that makes it stand out, and you go, oh yeah, that's amazing. With a caveat, when he gets on stage, he can actually sell it really well. I saw him at the London Eurovision party. He kind of blew the room away a little bit. It was, oh, where did that come from? Yeah, I was a drunk maybe at the time as well, so maybe that was coming into it. Always helps, but yeah, I wouldn't discount Austria just yet. Desiree?
Yeah, I think Austria definitely makes a good chance to make it to the final, even in the hard semi-final it is in. But for me, the song doesn't stand out either. So yeah, I have to agree to your points.
Okay, cool. Azerbaijan. Another fluffy pop throwaway number, Eurovision by numbers. However, I do have a sneaking like, stop nodding and shaking your head. By the way, our cameraman Daniel is behind the camera throwing daggers at me now because I'm rubbishing all throwaway pop songs. Out of all of them though, I think this is possibly the better one. I quite like it. It's catchy. I find myself singing along to it. I don't know, I think it's going to be okay. 100% qualification record for Azerbaijan. I don't really think it's in danger this year. Chris?
It's interesting that you say that as an English native speaker, since the lyrics of the song are just hilarious. What is stronger than Cannonball?
This is not chicken noises.
Luna, moon me up. What's happening here? I think that Azerbaijan has to worry about their perfect qualification record this year, mainly because she's also a jazz singer, which is a completely mismatch with this kind of generic dance pop. But on the other hand, they have Focus, the staging director from Greece. So there's still maybe something in the sleeves that could get Azerbaijan to the final. But on the song alone, I'm really skeptical about it.
You do realize that the last time Azerbaijan sent a jazz singer, they finished 4th. That was when they actually hosted the competition.
With a very jazz-like
That was a very strong. That was a strong ballad. Sorry, but you cannot even compare when the music dies to something as generic as.
Because with this song, the music's already died.
Anyway, moving swiftly on, Andrew.
I don't actually believe the music's died with this song because I think the second part of the chorus is quite catchy, as you said. But the lyrics, as Chris said, oh my goodness, Cannonball, Firewall, it doesn't really get any worse. And I think that's the problem. And I'd be inclined to agree that, what was it? Was it last year they were 9th in the semi-final qualification? They just scraped through. This one's going to be touch and go, I think. Yeah. Depends how she can sing.
Interesting though that the non-English speakers pick up on the lyrics. I hadn't really noticed it before. It's just a song to me and throwaway fluffy nonsense. Desiree?
Yeah. I'm not really crazy about this entry either. I mean, for me, it's one of the most generic songs of the year, and I would like to hear something different from Azerbaijan. And also, I think that the singer is a lot better than the song. So I'm looking forward to hear it singing live, and I will think, okay, I wish it. Yeah, we had something else.
Okay. Now we have a little special moment here with the next song. None of us are going to speak except for Chris. Go for it.
Are we going?
You can even hold the mic. I'll even allow you to hold the mic.
I don't think we dare speak.
But I will go and cut you at some point.
All right.
And then I can have.
Did I get that right? That we are talking about Belgium right now? Cheers, my friend. Yeah, but Belgium is great. Belgium is just flawless. Basically, you have a mixture of the vocal qualities of Alison Goldfrapp, Massive Attack, all these British trip hop songs that are just. People compare to James Bond themes, but in my opinion, it's far superior to this. You have an artist here that's extremely smart. She knows what she's doing. She had a few problems with the vocals, especially regarding the chorus and the pre-parties. She's working really, really hard on it. I have high hopes for Belgium still, and I think that they will once again have a great comeback at the contest, just like last year when everyone was writing Blanche off, and then in the end she finished 4th. So at the moment, I think Belgium still going for it. Okay.
And Chris is a little bit in love with the Belgian singer, I think, you know. So yeah, nobody else is allowed to look in, because if we dare criticize anything with the Belgian singer now, I think Chris might just throw his drink over me. So moving swiftly on to Bones from Bulgaria. Okay. You want to say something about Belgium?
Yeah, I just think that it is time for Eurovision to be really, really close to my home again.
Okay.
Which would be in Belgium.
Okay, thanks for that. Bones. Who wants to speak about Bones? Andrew?
Yeah, I'd say this chills me to the bone a bit. You're talking about the... I don't know, it feels contrived. It feels like they've been shipped in and put together.
Which they were.
Which they were, of course. So not really a feeling, is it?
Yeah.
And I don't know, for me, I could see this troubling the winning podium because of that. It doesn't do anything for me. And if it doesn't do anything for me, it's pretty good that it's going to do very well.
Okay.
But yeah, you want it to build, it doesn't. Obviously a dead cert qualifier. They've become Eurovision royalty without doing too much other than 2 years.
Very interesting comments. For me, I think this could be the year where they could get into trouble. I think they are trying too hard. There's no natural feeling or organicness about the song for me. It's contrived, it's put together. Last year, Kristen, you felt his emotion on stage. I've yet to feel that from Equinox. I could be completely wrong and opinions could completely change when I see the rehearsals, but for the moment they're on the back burner and I have them not qualifying. Chris?
I completely disagree with you. Bulgaria will qualify with ease. There's no doubt in my mind that the staging director Sasha Jean-Baptiste from Sweden will get this mess of 5 or 6 people, we don't know yet, cleaned up. And I think the vocal harmonies will really just completely blow the juries away. I think they might even be a strong contender for the win.
Okay. Sergey?
I think that they can win and will win, because I want to go to Bulgaria next year.
I've been. It's fun. Sofia is good fun.
It will be fun next year.
Desiree and I spent a lot of time in Sofia together a few years ago. We had a good time.
They
So it's more about your travel plans than the song, right?
No,
Yeah, and your point is?
that's also the point is, because it's my 10 of 10. I think that they definitely will qualify, and I think that they will be in the top 3, because they're trying too hard to get it.
Okay. Desiree, Bones.
Yeah, well, what I mostly think about is a certain TV series that stopped a few years ago when I hear the song. But yeah, I don't have yet much feeling with this song, but I'm really looking forward to see it all really put together on a stage where we will really hear all the vocals and see it all, see it all come together.
So I think the consensus around the group, this one, is we're waiting for rehearsals for this, right? Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's not,
That goes for anything
Okay, moving on, Belarus. On-off qualification record for them. I'm really not sure about this one, to be honest with you. I kind of find myself bopping along to it, but then when it's finished, I instantly forget it. I have no connection with it. I can't get any feeling from it. He's going to do a good job, but I'm not sure. Really, I'm on the fence on this one. Desiree, I'll come to you.
Yeah, well, I knew this song long before it was even considered for Eurovision, and at first I was okay with it, but not just much more than that. But I really love the new version, especially this part that we are listening to now. And I also know that there are many people who disagree with me, who think that he completely ruined the song. But for me, it makes it much more emotional. And yeah, I also think his vocals are improving a lot. So I have a slight hope that Belarus will qualify again.
Okay. Chris?
Not my cup of tea at all, but I understand the appeal. I think it's gonna score well in the eastern regions of Europe, and I wouldn't rule it out of placing higher than at least the betting markets think at the moment, who have it like at 30 or 40% qualifying even.
Andrew?
30 or 40% qualification rate is interesting, because I wouldn't bet my house on either way with this. It might make it might not. The melody that Desiree mentioned, it's kind of hooked me in a bit too. At first I was like not interested, a bit bland as a song, but it grows on you. So yeah, I can't bet my money either way as to whether it will or it won't. But again, maybe a rehearsal one, we'll see how he goes.
And Sergey?
As for me, I can't be objective. As you know, I'm Ukrainian, he's Ukrainian, he's singing for...
love every second of his voice. Right?
No, I don't love him at all. Not the song, not the lyrics, not the guy, because it's a dirty play. They are playing a dirty thing, and you know the story behind this song. So I have no comment on that. I don't like it at all. I don't like the song at all.
Don't hold back, right?
I wasn't clear as to what he thought.
Don't hold back. So just moving on then to Switzerland, we're going to start moving a bit faster now because I'm getting tired. Stones. Now, I again don't know what to make of this. It's kind of nice. It's kind of a drum-led song for me. She's quite good on stage. I'm not sure about the beatboxing and the jumping around too much. I still think possibly they gave her the wrong song to sing for Eurovision. Chris?
In my opinion, Switzerland would do a good job if they put her very close to the audience, because that's what she's good at. We've seen that in Madrid. She was interacting with the crowd. That just really worked. But Switzerland are not the strongest delegations. What I've seen in the last few years. So I don't know if they do that. If they recreate the national final staging, then I think they're in trouble.
Okay. Desiree?
Yeah, for me, when I hear this song, I don't really mind it, but it never really stood out for me. So it's just there. And yeah, if I pick my 10 qualifiers from the semi-final, then this one has trouble to be in.
Okay. Andrew?
I would share her sentiment. I think it's going to struggle to qualify. Yeah. I don't really think it's got an identity as a song. Yeah. And yeah, it's not like they've got traditional support from anywhere in Europe really anyway. So yeah, I mean, not really much more to add than what they both already said.
And Sergey, say something nice. Say something nice.
They are not Ukrainians, but I don't like them.
Okay. Why?
You know her grandmother's Ukrainian, I heard. No, really.
That's a joke. That's a typical Switzerland thing, because they will struggle to qualify with this song, and I don't like it at all again. Okay. So sorry.
So I think none of us really like Switzerland then. It's quite a shame. It's a shame, really.
No, I like them. I think they're fine performers. I would just look for staging and a few things. I think the juries are gonna go for this song actually, because it's kind of not aggressive rock, but middle of the road, inoffensive. And these kind of entries have a history and a track record of doing better with the juries than with the public. So there's a chance for them. They have a late draw in the running order in the first semi-final. Like they're like at 16 or something, just before Ireland and Cyprus, so I wouldn't rule it out at this point.
Okay. I'm gonna skip this one because I really don't know what to make of this. I'm not really a fan. Do you not know it yet? Cyprus. Oh. So I'm not feeling it at all. Really, I'm not feeling it at all. Just.
I think if we are going to do all songs, then we are going to do all songs.
No, I'm skipping it. You guys.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, of course, it's really hard to say anything about it, because I also don't feel this song myself, and I haven't really.
By the way, our cameraman is now dancing behind the camera. So Daniel, I think you should come out around the front of the camera and do the dance for us. No, he's not going to. Come on.
No, but yeah, we haven't really seen and heard this live yet, so it's hard to see. Yeah. But yeah. Chris? We'll have to see tomorrow.
The challenge for Cyprus will be that she has to come across less arrogant, because that's a concern. People need to vote for her in the end, and in the video of Cyprus she comes across as having a lot of attitude. But I think that they have a Swedish team working on this. They have good backing singers. I think this will come together and will qualify from the pimp slot from the first semi-final.
Coming to our fluffy pop expert, Andrew.
Have I just got that title? Oh, thank you.
Fluffy pop expert.
Well, seeing as I've been giving it, I should say, I first heard this, my friend told me, I really like it, I think it's good, and I was left a bit cold. But I think it will grow. It reminds me a bit of La La Love, you know, from 2012, where I thought to it until they performed it live, and then we had some sticks and things picking up. I could see them doing something like that, and it might really blow us away on the night. Again, might be one that I would say, let's see what happens when they start rehearsals, and we go from there.
See, for me, I thought she's trying to get a Dua Lipa vibe kind of going on with this kind of music, and it just didn't connect. It just didn't really work for me.
Okay. You know, I have listened to that song 2 or 3 times. So everything I can remember for listening to that song is the advertisement of bananas and pineapples. So nothing behind it.
I noticed that the first time. Am I looking at product placement or a video?
Only bananas and pineapples. That's my opinion.
Okay, so that completes our first 10 songs, and we're just going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back and start with Cyprus.
Again.
For part 2, I lied in part 1 and said that we were going to the wrong country. We are now actually on the Czech Republic. Lie to me. Probably one of the most contemporary songs in this year's competition. The guy does a really good turn. I think this is sailing through to the grand final and possibly even touching the top 5. And I think Chris is possibly going to disagree with me there.
No, not at all, actually. I think you're completely right. It will have no problem with qualification. A problem will be the Czech delegation, who have a poor track record of staging.
We discussed this already in Madrid, didn't we? And it was like, yeah.
The Czech delegation, they've done stuff like throwing shoes on stage and stuff. So I think that there are still some question marks surrounding Czech Republic. But I would bet on a top 10 placement at the moment for sure.
Okay, cool. Andrew, we'll come to you now next.
This is one of the few songs this year that actually gives me a headache when I listen to it.
Here we go.
But that's because I'm an old miserable man, maybe, who is too contemporary for me.
I'm a lot older than you, trust me. And I love it.
I see, I've just got no young soul, evidently, anymore. But no, I think it'll do well. It's a definite qualifier. I think maybe top 3 as well. It would be one of my top 3. As I said, the more I dislike it, the more chance it's got. But yeah, no, it's solid qualifier, no problems, and it may trouble the podium as well, I would say.
Desiree, is the camel rocking it for you?
That's a tricky question. Well, there will be no camel on stage, so the camel isn't rocking it for me.
Well, I heard there might be a camel on stage. Not a real live one, but there might be an actual camel.
Oh, really? Well, I didn't catch up on that one.
Okay.
Well, I think his vocals are good for what it has to be, and for the rest, well, he kind of sells the song on stage, so that might be enough for it to do really well. It's different from the other entries, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay. So we're quite fortunate tonight because we have Mikolas's brother from another mother with us, Sergey. You could be brothers, right? You look very similar. Do you want to just sing the song for me?
No, because I don't remember the lyrics.
Okay.
So first time I heard this song, I was thinking like, what is that? Is that even for Eurovision? But after I talked to him, he's so good person as a person. Yeah. He's so good guy, and now it's improved to me. It's such an improver. Such an improver for me. And I think he will finish top 3, and that will be the best Czech Republic result. So.
And you do know when you interviewed him in he will remember you forever. So I'm looking forward to that meeting in a few days' time, and he's going to come running up to you.
So that will be.
Of course, it will be filmed. So only one hater so far, really.
I wasn't. Hater just doesn't do it for me. What? I was lying to you. Haha.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to first of the Big 5 this year with Germany with Michael Schultz. Yeah, I get the Ed Sheeran vibe, the look and everything, but it's just a white man with a guitar, right?
I think it all depends on the live vocals. What we've seen on the German national final wasn't strong enough to challenge for one of the top spots at the top end of the scoreboard. But I think he's working on it. I'm not sure if he will hold up on the pressure, but if he does, then I think with a good jury score, Germany will definitely do better than they've done in the recent years.
Okay, Desiree, one for you?
For me, there are also some doubts about the vocals. I think that it is a really, really nice song. I like it, but yeah, the vocals will make a big part in how well this will do or not.
Okay, and now fluffy pop monster over in the corner there. Is this rocking it for you?
Obviously, it's not fluffy enough because it sends me to sleep, I'd say.
Yeah.
You
really are hating tonight.
I'm sorry. Maybe I just got tired, but this would certainly send you off to sleep, but not a deep, lovely, relaxed sleep. I would just say, you mentioned Ed Sheeran. To me, it sounds like an Adele song.
Right, yeah.
For me, it's more Adele, but he looks a bit more like Ed Sheeran than Adele.
Yeah, but
she doesn't look like.
The thing with me with the Ed Sheeran thing is literally the man standing on stage there trying to give emotion and emoting. Sergey, for you?
Actually, I do like this song because
one you like. Right. Stop the video. We need to just pause the video here now. One you actually like.
This song makes me feel like in the shelter, and it goes like on the waves, some kind of waves. That's great, and I found the lyrics of the song is too good. It's good for me because it's one love, two hearts. It's great.
Wow, we even have somebody sing it. Go on, carry on. You can sing all you want.
Oh no, you get me embarrassed.
No, don't be embarrassed. Okay, so I think this Germany done. Now moving on to Denmark. Now, probably the one song that I really just dislike a lot in the whole competition. I love the Danish delegation. I always work really well with them. The guy's lovely. I interviewed him in London. He's really nice. but this song, it's just not cutting it for me. Chris.
Oh, Andrew.
Oh, sorry, Andrew. Yeah.
That's okay. My brother's called Chris.
It is late.
People get mixed up. So.
It is late, and I am on my third Jack Daniels and Coke, so I'm allowed to make mistakes, okay?
Yeah, I had a cup of tea, so I'm just about ready. I don't know, it feels like you've gone to a fancy dress party. That's what worries me. There's a lot of hair going on as well.
Yeah.
But melodically, it beats on along, nicely enough. Qualifier, not sure.
Okay.
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay. Andrew, is this rocking it for you? It is Chris, by the way.
Game of Thrones is one of the most popular TV shows at the moment. If people see that kind of connection, then I think Denmark has a strong USP. As a song itself, it's pretty dated, and I would have some doubts about it. But it has a USP, and you shouldn't underestimate just the effect of having something dark, dramatic, Viking, Denmark. It all kind of fits. So yeah, I'm kind of lukewarm on it.
So Desiree, why do you think this one is doing so well in the OGAE polls? Because it's doing well. It's like getting like top 4s with a lot of the polls. It's quite surprising.
I think that it's maybe it would be because it's the most Nordic song of the Nordic ones.
Okay.
I mean, the other ones are either just really pop songs that could be from any country, that doesn't really have to be Scandinavia. But this one really has a Nordic feel to it, and yeah, maybe that's it.
Okay. Sergey, rocking your boat?
You can pause the video now. Because it's another great song for me. That's the song what I want from Denmark, from the other Scandinavian countries. I want to see it on stage, and I think that they will rock it. So I hope for that.
So quite a lot of love for Denmark around the room, really. I'm quite surprised at that. I thought people would... Oh, Desiree's shaking her head there, shaking her head. No, but I'm surprised. I thought we would be a lot more negative about that. So now we are going to go to Spain, and I'm going to come to Desiree first, because she always loves the Spanish songs and the Spanish entries. Desiree, your opinion this year on Spain?
Yeah. Well, what I think that many people have to take into account is that what Spain chose for... Our interviewer is now really making it hard for me to speak, because he is acting completely crazy. Yeah, maybe I have to. Yeah. Now the Spain chose mainly for a story, maybe a bit less for a song, but in the meantime I think that they are growing into it, and especially Alfred, who with the first performances wasn't always so strong, but I think he's really getting stronger, and I'm looking forward to what they are doing with the staging. Okay. So yeah, in a few days we'll see.
Okay. Chris, there seems to be a lot of love online for this video and for their performances whenever they see them, but no love in the betting market. Can you explain the disparity in that? Which I'm sure you can.
Well, I don't think there's like a total lack of love in the betting markets. In the top 5 markets, you still get prices for Spain to finish top 5 at around 3.94. So I wouldn't say that the betting markets are ignoring it. I think there's some Spanish money in the betting markets, which like Spanish people backing their own acts basically. For me, it's extremely cheesy and trying to recreate this kind of.
No, it's not cheesy. Whatever gives you that idea.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I just wanted to clarify that I feel similar about it. In the end, it comes down to a few things, like how our jury's gonna react to it. How is it going to stand out in a field of 26 in the final? Because as we know, Spain is going to be in the final. I don't think the Spanish people should be that hopeful for a good result this year.
Okay. Sergey?
I can't see the connection between the singers, and that's the problem, because they singing about love, the canción, but I can't see love between them.
There's no chemistry for them on stage.
No chemistry, and I want to see the chemistry on the stage, and we'll see. So they will have that.
That's interesting. That's the first time I've ever heard somebody say that they couldn't see the chemistry between them.
Not for me. Okay. I can say I think that they are acting, not feeling. So
our nodding pop monster over there is nodding away. I think I know what he's going to say, but we'll come to you anyway.
I'll surprise you all with that. I know what you mean about the chemistry, because the kind of look at the end and the kiss, it just feels like it was forced, even though it's kind of natural between them.
I can't
No,
believe
it does. It feels contrived. It feels like it's forced, even though it's natural. But they
Just because you'd like to kiss him on stage.
I'm not making any.
You're just jealous, really.
Making any comment on any of the participants in that way. However, I would say this: the chorus, you were swaying along when you spoke to Desiree about it, and I find the same. I find again.
Hang on, we flipped onto Estonia. Let me just put Spain back.
There's so much to say on Spain. We lost the whole song. It's gone past us. But no, it's a very. I know it makes you smile at the end. Yeah. And that's the thing. It does. It gives me a little. You know. Yeah, sorry, I'm being all sentimental now. You didn't expect that, did you?
Not really, but anyway.
I'll go back to my
moving on to probably one of my pet hates this year is the Estonian song. I'm not a Popera fan at all. I don't think it really ever has done well in Eurovision. The only time was Malena Ehrman a few years ago. She qualified and then tanked in the final. The selling point is the dress. Everybody watches that. Apparently they have the dress for them now in Lisbon. I really don't even think this is going to qualify, and everybody has it down as one of the ones that's going to finish in the top 10.
Okay. I can agree with you, and I can't find why she's so high on the tops, why she's so high on the odds. We'll see on the stage.
Sure. Chris?
When you mentioned pop opera, you left out Il Volo from 2015.
Yeah, you have a valid point there.
I think that in this case it's a bit colder, and that's the problem. Like Il Volo were 3 Italian guys singing about Grande Amore. Now you have an Estonian opera singer singing a song in Italian with a very polished but also distant staging with a lot of effects. I don't quite understand what's the audience for this kind of entry. Is it like the opera fans? Is it the Eurovision fans? Who's exactly the target audience for this entry? And this might be a problem, but overall I would say it's still. The vocals are strong. The performance is strong. The whole visual aspect of it is strong, and now financially also secured, as we heard. So I would say that Estonia should qualify, but I'm also having my doubts about challenging for the top end of the scoreboard.
I mean, you picked up on the Volo thing there. Yes, I agree. You have a very valid point, but they were favourites to win, and they didn't.
Well, Estonia is among the contenders still in the betting markets, so there's that. The betting markets see at the moment about 80% chance for Estonia to qualify and about a 5% chance to win. So realistically, we would probably expect the bottom and top 10 result.
Okay. Desiree?
I find this one also hard. It's not really one of my personal favorites, but it all looks and sounds so stunning that I can't really see it not qualifying, really.
Okay. Cool. Andrew?
Yeah, again, the vocals are stunning. Yeah. Again, leaves you a bit cold, I would say, because of that. The dress was probably the most blatant PR stunt, I think, that we've had in quite a while at Eurovision, and that's saying something. Yeah. But yeah, I think safe qualifier, and it may come across really well on the night. We'll see.
So we're not really feeling the love for Estonia, any of us, really that much. So continue with Greece. Any love for Greece, Chris?
I haven't seen a single live performance from Greece so far, and at this point we are one day before the rehearsals. I've still not seen a single live performance. I have my concerns that this will work. So yeah, we'll just have to see tomorrow, or I don't know when their rehearsal will be. I think it's on Monday. Before I'm not hearing this live, I cannot give a definite opinion on it.
It's okay.
There will be a lot of love from the Eastern Europe for the Greece, because I do love this song. I think it's so powerful, and that kind of songs I want to see from Greece every year, because they have a lot to say about their ethnicity and the country. So I'm excited about that, and I hope that they will finish top 5. So good luck to them.
Desiree, Greece for you.
Well, I like it quite a lot, but at the same time, and I may sound contradictory here, at the same time I also don't really feel it. But that also has to do maybe that now when I hear you say what the lyrics are about, I didn't get them that way. So maybe I have to keep that in mind the next time that I read the lyrics. Okay. And then maybe it will all come together for me. And I guess tomorrow or in 2 days will be a good time when the rehearsals start.
Best of the Balkans this year, yes or no?
Balkans.
Best of the Balkans this year, yes or no?
Yes, for sure.
Challenging.
No.
Best of the Balkans is Bulgaria, and it's not close.
No, I meant, is Greece the best of the Balkans, yes or no?
No, it's not.
Okay, moving on to another Balkan country, we have now Croatia. Franca singing Crazy. This one's passing me by completely. I don't know what anybody else thinks. I just really have no opinion on it. Chris?
The spoken parts are very weird. The song itself is a bit of an obstacle for Croatia, but I think she's... We often use this term, which is kind of a bad thing to say, but she's votable as a performer. As she's good looking, she knows how to find the camera. I think her vocals will be strong. She's just overall a good performer. So if it qualifies and it doesn't look very good at the moment, it will be because of her and not because of the song.
Okay, Desiree.
And well, this is also a hard one because we haven't really heard or seen it live yet. The only thing I can base on it is the acoustic performance that came out a few days ago. It sounded well, but of course I don't know how pre-recorded it was, even though it's mentioned an acoustic performance. Yeah, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, it's kind of just there, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd share your opinion on that. I'd also say what's interesting about Croatia this year is most of the Balkan countries have gone back to their native language, and this is in English, and I feel somehow that it loses spirit from it as well. I think your points about her being a good vocalist, a nice looking girl, will help it, but I don't see it qualifying. I think it's going to struggle.
Any love from Eastern Europe?
No.
Okay. Short and to the point.
I don't like the song. It sounds so annoying to me. I can't even listen to it now, so we can switch to the another.
You want me to move on? Okay, no problem. I will move on. So to actually... my favourite song in the whole competition, actually, funnily enough. Yeah, the one song that just grabbed me straight away when I saw them in Madrid. I was like, yes, sailing through to the final, probably making the top 10, and I piled in on money on that. So Chris is probably looking at me going, oh, I'm going to lay bet you now.
No, the betting markets have been skeptical in the beginning on Hungary, but as we've seen it on the pre-party shows, they know how to work on a stage. They look credible as what they're doing, and I think in the end, I think they will find an audience and should make the final.
Okay, Desiree?
Yeah, well, it is just really not my genre, and yeah, there were other songs that I would have preferred Hungary to send this year, but at the same time I also have to say that in some way it's growing on me. I mean, it's not my favorite and it's not going to be, but we'll see how far this goes.
Teresteboni a few years ago, do you remember, for Finland?
Which one?
Teresteboni for Finland a few years back in 2008 or 9, something like that. Remember they did really well, that hard rock from Finland?
Yeah, I do remember them. What I mostly remember about them was how hot the fire was when we were in the hall.
Yeah. Fluffy pop monster in the corner.
Seeing as you've given me that title, I'd say this would be the bald equivalent then of Fluff, right? It gives me a headache. Although it's funny, when the verses start, you think, okay, I can see this going somewhere. They're not going to scream their heads off. And that's what I find that they do. It's like, la, 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 la.
Do you want to do that again?
I probably couldn't because I need to get through the rest of the reviews without probably straining a vocal cord. But it's a bit like that, I would say. Probably qualify because it's the only song like this year.
It's not probably qualifying. It's not probably about it. It's sailing through to the final. What are you talking about? That's a rubbish.
Just sailing through. Most definitely.
So,
I think that it can get headache, but in a good way, because it's so crazy and so powerful. We will see at the stage that they have a lot of energy to show and lots of energy to...
Yeah, go on. Carry on.
A lot of energy to show, and I think that they will definitely qualify.
Okay.
Actually, if there is one thing that I might want to add, is what I like most about the studio version that we were just listening now, is at the end you have this choir, high-pitched female choir, if I'm using the right words. I hope they will manage to reproduce that on stage, because that is powerful. That's a powerful part for me.
Okay, cool. Moving on to, and guys, we have to be nice. We have an Irish cameraman. He will make us look terrible on camera if we don't be nice. However, I'll kick off with Together for Ryan O'Shaughnessy for Ireland. Yes, this is possibly what Ireland do the best. He's a seasoned performer. He's been around a long time. He knows how to work a crowd. He knows how to handle a stage. He's very confident. However, the song is pretty tripe. It's pretty boring. There doesn't really go anywhere. There's not really a message for me. I can see my cameraman out of the corner of my eye sharpening his blade as we speak, so I'll come to Chris now.
No, I agree with you. I like Ryan. I think he's quite used to having cameras, and I think this is a big step forward for Ireland. I'm worried that I've read that they are bringing these dancers from the video to the stage. So it looks to me at the moment like they are really trying to present this gay dancer theme from the video, and I don't think this is the right way to present him as the artist. The song itself is fine. I mean, it's not my cup of tea, but there would be an audience for this if you just don't go too heavy on the cheese. But I'm afraid they will do, and this would be their downfall.
Okay, with the Irish flag in the corner here, Sergey.
I will be waving this flag at the arena because I do love this song. A huge fan of this song because I do love the vibe of this song. It's so chill and so not so annoying as like Franca from Croatia or this. And the gay dancers, that's so sweet. Aww. We'll see them on the stage. I'm so excited about it.
Desiree, love for you?
Yeah, actually, I also think that this song is really atmospheric. From the performances we've seen, the live performance is good. The only issue I have with it is that towards the end, it seems to drag on a little. So some trick in the end could help Ireland to do better than in last years.
Okay, cool. Fellow British Isles person, our neighbours across the water in the Irish Sea, feeling it?
Not really. I'm the same as you. It's all kind of likeable and it sits there and, you know, don't hit me with your flag, but it's a bit insipid. Yeah. And this idea you were saying of the dancers, it sounds quite horrific. I think it would be better keeping him on the stage on his own, and let the song do the talking if it's going to do anything. But I think we could see this 16th, 17th, 18th.
You do realise Daniel is not going to give you any more drink tonight now, don't you?
I know, it's just as well I had a few cuppers because I'd be in big trouble now. But obviously, Ireland are great. I want them to do well, but they might not with this. Shall we say that and be diplomatic? Let's say that. There we go.
So moving on, possibly the song that really passed me by pre-season, and then he went on the promo tour. He stood on stage and he sells that song with every fibre of his being. An amazing vocalist. We're talking about Iceland with our choice, by the way, in case people didn't realise. I really don't know how this is going to do. It's quite strange. It's one of those songs that you will get on the Eurovision stage and go, oh, actually, it's going to hoover up votes. Don't know. Chris?
No. No, zero chance to qualify. This is one of the easiest ones from the first semi-final, which is a very competitive semi-final. Iceland has no chance, and they're desperately trying to avoid last place in the semi-final. I have zero doubts in my mind that Iceland will not be in the final on the Saturday. Unfortunately, because I think he's a nice guy and everything, but it's dated. It has no friends in the semi-final. There's nobody who would vote for this in this field after so many stronger contenders are after it in the running order. Iceland, I'm sorry, zero chance.
Okay, and you're nodding over there, Andrew.
Yeah, I think you just said everything I thought. I think this is my shoe-in for last place. Okay. Yeah, there's something. The lyrics are a little bit dodgy, and he seems like a nice guy. You know, he puts a lot of energy into it, as you said. But no, I think this is going to be the wooden spoon of Tuesday.
Okay, Desiree?
Yeah, also no love for me for this song. I mean, he is. Are you?
No.
Okay. I'm relieved because I was afraid that you were going to think I like this song. No. I mean, he is a great singer, of course he is. But for me, the lyrics, if we mentioned cheesy before with Spain, for me this is the most cheesiest song of the year. Okay. And not in a good way.
Okay. You, another brother from another mother with you?
No, not at all. We are not going to Iceland. God, thank you, because it's too expensive, and Iceland is not going to the final for sure. I can agree with you all. Okay. That's not no chance for a qualification.
Okay. So we had 2 ballads now. I think we all need a little bit of uplifting. Favorite of the whole competition. No chicken noises, please. Yeah, I'm ambivalent. I think yes, it has a potential to win. However, I think the live performance of this really lets it down. It's a studio song, it's a video song. She stands behind the looper for the first 30 seconds of the song, not really interacting with the camera. She's interacting with dials on the thing. I think it's going to lose people straight away. And the quirkiness right at the very beginning and no connection with the camera could damage its chances. When you get into the music proper, it's not really anything special. It's nothing that hasn't really been done before.
I think you've summed up it pretty well, actually. I think the topic of the song as well, given all the news events of the last few years, it feels like it was almost written to mirror that, you know.
She has actually come out and said that this is not a Me Too song.
But it feels a bit Me Too. That's the thing. I mean, they may not say that, but it almost feels as if there was a little panel that said, what should we talk about? And it came out of this. I don't know. Everyone has said it, and I agree. Is it going to be in Italy where it seems it gets all the YouTube views, everybody talks about it, but no one votes for it on the night? Possibly. Honestly, I don't know each way with this. It's either going to run away with it, or it will just sink. And we're like, oh yeah, remember Israel when they used to talk about how that was going to win and it didn't?
Chris, the betting markets, your opinion on what they're doing with her?
Well, it's the hot favorite in the betting markets. The betting markets have it at the top of the market, predicting it to win the contest at the moment. But as you said, none of her live performances so far have really convinced the market. And you've seen always this trend in the market. She was in Tel Aviv, she was in Amsterdam, and whenever she performed on stage, the betting markets were a bit less sure about it. Yeah. It always drifted a bit after these performances, and then it goes back because people rely on the highly edited video clip where she has a lot of different dress changes, a lot of different faces, a lot of charisma, and a lot of flashy editing cuts. So I think in the end it comes down to what happens tomorrow in the rehearsals. We're gonna look stupid tomorrow if she just completely owns it with the staging. So I'm not gonna step out of the way and say it's not gonna do well or it is going to do well. We simply don't know. It depends on how she comes across on the camera. There's a lot of things going for it, but in the end, it's beatable favorite, I would say.
Okay. Desiree?
Yeah, well, of course it's hard to say with this one because a lot will depend on the staging. It stands out because there is no song like this in the contest, but for me it's not my personal favorite by far.
Okay. Sergey? Did the chicken noises go on?
No, I will say that I had a dinner with a chicken breast. Now it's in my stomach, so I have a part of the song in my stomach. I love that song. I love the music video, and I hope they will do a great staging. If they do that, then we will see it. Who will win? It's Israel.
So I think to sum up, we're a bit vague about Israel. We're not really buying into it being the runaway favourite, but at the same time we're kind of hedging our bets a little bit and saying that it may do it. So
we'll just have to see tomorrow. We will just have to wait and see tomorrow. And tomorrow we will do a team review of Israel, and then we will talk about it. And I think our opinion will be much more valuable than it was this night.
Okay. So we're just going to stop for a little while now, and we will come back in part 2.